Right now, on to the point, birthright citizenship.
We're going to see all the branches of government involved and the citizens.
The legal battle already growing tonight as President Trump tries to end the act, plus pardoning January 6th rioters.
I'm going to get that thing framed, dude. Put it on the wall.
The scenes in D.C. today and what we're learning about the defendants here, and new details assessing the damage in the Los Angeles fires, the insurance claims made, and debate over financial aid. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. We are now in the first 100 days of President Trump's second term with hundreds of executive orders already signed. This is a look at the White House tonight. Trump allies are promising shock and awe during Trump's first 100 days. Tonight, we are looking at immigration, world health, and workplace battles now underway. Reporter Christian Cordero kicks off our coverage tonight from D.C. Christian.
Alex, President Trump's executive actions around immigration and creating a new Department of Government Efficiency are among those now facing lawsuits as the new administration and a new Congress begins. From the White House today, President Donald Trump announced a $500 billion investment from tech companies building AI infrastructure.
This monumental undertaking is a resounding declaration of confidence in America's potential under a new president. Let me be a new president. I didn't say it, they did.
President Trump's first day back in the White House was marked in Sharpie, signing more than 200 executive actions total. The president also signed pardons for about 1,500 January 6th defendants, including those who attacked law enforcement officers. On Capitol Hill, members of Congress reacted.
It was surprising to me that it was a blanket pardon.
I certainly don't want to pardon any violent actors, but there was a real miscarriage of justice here.
Among those released, founder of the Oath Keepers and one of the January 6th riots organizers, Stewart Rhodes, leaving the Maryland prison and his 18-year sentence behind. And former Proud Boys chairman Enrique Tarrio also released from his 22-year sentence, the longest prison term handed down in connection with the riot. Today, the first and second families attended a prayer service at Washington's National Cathedral, a long-standing tradition. Bishop Marianne Budd with this message for the president.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now.
Afterwards, Trump was asked what he thought.
I didn't think it was a good service, no. Thank you very much.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
They can do much better.
Another of Trump's executive actions getting attention, his move to end birthright citizenship. Today, at least 22 states filed a lawsuit challenging it, citing its protection under the 14th Amendment. In Washington, Christian Cordero, ABC 10. Alex, back to you.
All right, thank you, Christian. And coming up a little bit later in the show, we'll have more on the January 6th pardons and why not everyone pardoned agrees with the move. Meanwhile, the mayor of Stockton is now speaking out on immigration in our state. Christina Fugazi saying, I want to reaffirm our city's unwavering commitment to enforcing California state laws fairly and impartially, regardless of immigration status. Stockton is a community that prioritizes safety, justice, and the well-being of all its residents. She referred to State Law SB 54, which prohibits state and local law enforcement agencies from using resources to enforce federal immigration laws. Fugazi added, quote, this law underscores the separation of responsibilities between federal and local enforcement, but it does not compromise our dedication to ensuring public safety and justice for all. This comes as Trump declared a national emergency at the border Monday, allowing the Department of Defense to deploy armed forces there and freeing up resources to build a wall. He also ended use of the border app that allowed asylum-seeking migrants to book appointments. And when asked if deportations were underway, Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, didn't answer directly, instead saying this on Fox Business today.
The president's been clear, I've been clear, that right out of the gate, we're looking for public safety threats. ICE agents are out there doing that now.
On the other side of the border, the Mexican government says it's already opening new care centers in anticipation of many people being sent back to the country. Tonight, a legal battle is already growing over Trump declaring an end to birthright citizenship, even though it is protected by the 14th Amendment, which guarantees citizenship to children born in the United States despite the citizenship of their parents. ABC 10's Becca Habegger explains what Trump's executive order calls for and how this all could play out in the courts.
On Monday, freshly sworn-in President Donald Trump signed more than 200 executive actions. One, entitled Protecting the Meaning and Value of American Citizenship, directs federal agencies to stop issuing citizenship documents starting later next month to children of certain non-citizens. It's based on the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which says, in part, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Previous U.S. Supreme Court decisions have established that anyone born on U.S. soil becomes a citizen, but President Trump argues this doesn't apply to babies born to mothers who are undocumented or here temporarily if the father is not a citizen or lawful permanent resident.
Certainly the courts are going to take action. With big changes like this, we're going to see all the branches of government involved. And the citizens.
Constitutional expert Leslie Jacobs, Anthony Kennedy Professor of Law at University of the Pacific's McGeorge School of Law, says legal challenges will likely delay the order's implementation and potentially defeat it.
The very first thing they'll ask for is an emergency order that puts the president's executive order on hold.
Adding that something like this would likely not go into effect until the United States Supreme Court weighs in on it. On Tuesday, more than 20 states filed a lawsuit against the executive order, including California, as members of the American Civil Liberties Union and others took to the state capitol.
I think California has a tremendous opportunity to lead in this moment. We believe that the rule of law is important, that people's civil rights and civil liberties are fundamental and in the Constitution.
To be clear, President Trump's executive order is not retroactive, saying it will apply only to persons who are born within the United States after 30 days from the date of this order. But Professor Jacobs wonders whether such an order would require another amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
That process would take a very long time and would have to have 2/3 of the states.
Becca Hobiger, ABC 10.
And I also want to mention that Professor Jacobs says the U.S. Constitution was last amended more than 30 years ago with the addition of the 27th Amendment in 1992 related to Congress members' salaries. President Trump is ordering all federal workers to return to the office tonight. The union representing more than 750,000 federal employees says they might go to court. The American Federation of Government Employees says in part, quote, whether the union will file a lawsuit depends on how it is implemented. If they violate our contracts, we will take appropriate action to uphold our rights. President Trump also issued an executive order repealing Biden's executive order to lower prescription drug costs. This has the potential to impact more than 6 million Californians on Medicare. Local pharmacists told ABC 10 today that they are scrambling to understand what this means for patient access and, of course, prices. According to the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services, they were set to negotiate on 15 more big-name drugs.
What is this one?
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization, sir?
Ooh, that's a big one.
And that was President Trump just last night signing an executive order to withdraw the U.S. from the World Health Organization. In the order, Trump accused the World Health Organization of mishandling the COVID-19 pandemic and described an unfair demand of payments from the U.S. Here was the World Health Organization's response just today.
WHO plays a crucial role in protecting the health and security of the world's people, including Americans. We hope the United States will reconsider, and we look forward to engaging in constructive dialogue to maintain the partnership between the United States of America and WHO.
Europe is also expressing concerns tonight. Public health experts believe this withdrawal could impact issues like bird flu, telling ABC News it could mean losing the ability to collaborate on preparedness, responses, and exchanging information. Trump also withdrew the U.S. from the Paris Climate Accords and more. We do have extensive coverage on Trump's first actions of his second term playing now on the ABC 10 Plus TV app, both on the home screen. Just look under the news tab. The ABC 10 Plus TV streaming app is completely free to download on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, or wherever you stream. Coming up onto the point, we are verifying claims made online about the inauguration, from Trump's oath of office to claims that Facebook made people follow the president, and new information on our wildfire fight and the new aid proposed here in Sacramento.
We are tracking some changes for the weekend, including the chance for showers and windy weather. Planning for those changes ahead.
Tracking California wildfires tonight, a fire came dangerously close to apartments in the Mission Valley area of San Diego just this afternoon. Evacuations were ordered near the Fashion Valley Mall. People in Southern California are on alert as dangerous winds returned to the region today. Tonight, State Farm Insurance says they have received more than 9,000 claims from the recent fires in Los Angeles. The fire started 2 weeks ago today, and tomorrow state lawmakers will be in hearings over providing aid to the area. And it was just announced that the former mayor of New Orleans, who helped rebuild after Hurricane Katrina, will now help lead Los Angeles's recovery. Of course, we'll continue to following that. I do want to go ahead and bring in our chief meteorologist, who is tracking those red flag warnings still that we're seeing, right?
Right. Here we go again. We've got gusty winds that are continuing for Southern California. That will be in place through Thursday evening now. So you can see the extent north of Los Angeles all the way to the border here. Gusts over 50 miles per hour. Critical fire weather continues with the potential for more power outages and new fire starts. So we'll be tracking that for the next couple of days. As far as our local conditions, with our stable weather pattern, we're once again seeing some poor air quality developing for Sacramento County tomorrow. Burning discouraged. San Joaquin and Stanislaus County, no burning unless registered. So that's mostly for our fireplaces, wood burning stoves. It's just all that particulate matter stays very close to the surface when we don't have any rain or wind to kind of scour that out. Temperatures tomorrow morning starting off in the 30s. Our highs once again warming into the low 60s. Winds will be a part of our forecast this weekend, mostly for the west side of the valley with gusts over 35 miles per hour. So we'll continue to monitor that as a weather system starts to kind of back in towards the state. This is going to disrupt this very tranquil weather pattern that we've had in Northern California, bringing a chance for showers very early on Saturday. And then as that low moves inland, we'll have a chance of showers in Northern California and for Southern California as well. Highs for tomorrow under dry weather, 40s for the high country, 60s to near 70 for the foothills and for the coastal communities. Take that inland, morning lows in the 30s, highs 60s to near 70. Our 5-day forecast, you can see the dramatic changes for the weekend, if not only for the cooler temperatures, also tracking that chance for showers for the mountains and the hills. Not quite making it to the Bay Area, but we will see some cooler weather settle in. Highs will stay in the 60s this work week for the valley and then drop to the 50s this weekend with that slight chance for showers on Saturday. Back to the dry weather next week.
Next, on To the Point, roughly 1,500 pardons following the January 6th U.S. Capitol attack. Tonight, why not everyone pardoned agrees with the move. Plus, we verify claims made about the inauguration. Does the president need to place their hand on the Bible while taking the oath of office?
I'm going to get that thing framed, dude, and put it on the wall. I swear to God, because people like us don't have them.
New reaction tonight from one man who says that he's been pardoned by President Trump for January 6th crimes. He was in a crowd outside a Washington, D.C. detention center today to support those being released. Tonight, more than 200 people convicted of January 6th crimes have been released from prison. We can confirm some local cases are in the process of being dismissed. Reporter Rena Roy explains who is among those now released and who is among those condemning this move.
You'll remember the horrific scenes from January 6th, 2021, the deadly insurrection at the U.S. Capitol by a violent mob of Trump supporters seeking to overturn the 2020 election. According to the Department of Justice, more than 1,500 people were criminally charged in federal court, more than 1,000 pleading guilty. And now the people who were sentenced for these crimes, including violent offenders, are being released from prison.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon. Yes. Full pardon.
Full, complete, and unconditional pardons for the rioters, including the former leader of the far-right group, the Proud Boys, Enrique Tarrio, sentenced to 22 years for sedition. Trump also commuting the sentences of 14 others charged with sedition, including Stuart Rhodes, founder of the Oath Keepers militia, sentenced to 18 years. Trump even granting clemency to the more than 600 people charged with assaulting or resisting law enforcement. The day after the insurrection, Trump saying this:
To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
But now this bold move. The White House says at least 2 rioters were already released on Monday. Supporters celebrating last night at the D.C. jail.
They will be leaving tonight from this prison behind me.
While others condemned the pardons, including Jason Riddle, who pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 90 days in jail for his actions at the Capitol on January 6th. He says his arrest was warranted.
Capitol police officers are dead. People have died. Obviously, it sounds better to say that I'm a hero and a patriot, and I would love to, believe that, but I know it's not true.
And that was Rena Roy reporting. Craig Sicknick, the brother of Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick, who died after he was attacked on January 6th, is telling ABC News tonight that Trump's pardons are, quote, a betrayal of decency. Tonight, we are also verifying and following up on moments from Trump's second inauguration, causing a lot of conversation online. You might have seen this photo right here. The president did not place his hand on the Bible when he took the oath of office. He's not the first president to swear the oath without doing so. We can verify that the president does not have to swear the oath of office on a Bible. According to the National Archives, the Constitution does not specify how this oath should be administered. In fact, in 1901, President Theodore Roosevelt didn't swear over any book at all. Yesterday, some Facebook and Instagram users said that they were surprised to find themselves automatically following President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. It's likely because they were previously following the official government accounts. Meta spokespeople took to threads about these reports, saying official POTUS and White House accounts are managed by the White House and change when the occupant of the White House changes. They say this also happened back in 2021 during the transfer from Trump to Biden, and then again in 2017 during the transfer from Obama to Trump. And President Trump has already signed dozens of executive orders swiftly calling for major changes, policy changes. But what are executive orders and what kind of power do they hold? Casey Decker explains tonight.
President Trump wasted no time pursuing his agenda, signing dozens of executive orders on his first day in office. Some of the orders would amount to major changes in current policy, leading many to wonder whether Trump actually has the authority to make them. So what power do executive orders actually have? Are they the same thing as new laws? Let's verify. Our sources: the Constitution, the American Bar Association, FindLaw, and the Congressional Research Service. The answer is no. Executive orders are not the same as laws passed by Congress. For one, the president has to follow laws passed by Congress, but cannot force Congress to do anything. The Constitution gives the president broad, quote, executive power. That means power over the executive branch. That's White House staff, the military, and federal agencies like the FBI or Department of Energy. Using executive orders, he can tell those agencies what to do. But this power is not limitless. The president must obey existing law, whether that's the Constitution, acts of Congress, or decisions made by the courts. The president does not have the power to repeal or change existing laws with an executive order. He does have the power to interpret laws and decide how they get enforced, and that's what many executive orders do. But those interpretations can be challenged in court, and the orders struck down if they're found to contradict the law or exceed the president's authority. Executive orders can also be repealed by the president with the stroke of a pen, whereas laws can only be repealed by Congress or struck down by the Supreme Court. So while executive orders can be used to quickly achieve some policy changes, they're limited by existing law and often only change things in the short term. Major, long-lasting changes require action from Congress. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
And if you have something that you want verified, you can always reach out to the To The Point team or go directly to the Verify team over on verifythis.com. There is a section at the top where you can send your question. All right, still ahead on To The Point, a sneak peek at what we're working on for tomorrow. Private fire insurance companies, they've been getting a lot of attention, especially since the Los Angeles wildfires this month. Today, I visited a California-based private fire company called Capstone, who say that their business is growing. Capstone's Northern California station is located in a Roseville industrial complex. I met with Chief Greg McAlpine, who's a retired firefighter and now works for the company. Many of their firefighters are either retired or are young firefighters looking to get experience. Tomorrow at 6:30. 6:30 on To the Point, I'll take you inside the fire station to find out who their clients are, how much they charge, and what kind of calls they actually respond to. That's tomorrow night right here at 6:30 on To the Point. As always, thank you so much for watching our show, spending part of your evening with us. We always want to hear what's going on in your community. So just so you know, you can always shoot our team an email at tothepoint@abc10.com if there's something that you want us to look into. Have a great night, and don't forget, To the Point does not end here. If you want to watch stories that are featured on our show, you can always download our free ABC 10 Plus app wherever you stream. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, it's Alex. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. The To the Point team and I love hearing from you, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. And don't forget, you can always email me and the team at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send us a text message at 916-321-3310.